Good afternoon, guys. My name is UD and I'm from Unified Networking Lab team. In this video I will introduce the newest features what we have implemented in our newest UNL release. The number is 96. It is already announced and I will show you how to update your existing UNL machines to get these features running. What's new in this release? So the amazing thing what we achieved, this is a multi-user support. What does it mean? This means you are running the single VM machine, like maybe in some corporate network resources you can run on a server. At the same time, multi-users like UD and Andrea and someone else can do the same lab in the same time and do not disturb each other. What does it mean? Andrea starting his lab, running nodes, stopping nodes, configuring his own routing protocols, and then it's managing interfaces, doing whatever what he wants. And at the same time, UD is logged into the same VM machine and starting and stopping and doing my own work, like my own protocols and whatever I want, and we do not disturb each other. This looks like two independent processes. Like for each user in the UNL machine, we have own profile, which are named which are called pod. Okay. The next feature, it's already implemented before, but I would like to show you. It's because it will be interesting for guys who using HowTo topologies. Let's say it is some big topologies like in a troubleshoot, and you want to get some initial configurations which has faults, and then you would like to start in any time with these faulty labs and this faulty lab and let's say to solve the tickets. Yeah, it's, and after that, once it's done, you want to wipe it again and start from scratch with the implemented faults and so on. This amazing thing, and we started to introduce it for QEMU devices for VIOS layer 2 and layer 3 and CSR. It works already, but we got success for VASA, VXR, and the future release I'm definitely sure that it will be more and more. It is a really complicated process, yes, to get these initial configurations for VIOS, which are QEMU and let's say a double virtualization machines under UNL. But let's jump in and let's start from update process. So I already did it. Yeah, it's at a shorter time. So mandatory command when you log it into your UNL machine, apt-get update. It is mandatory. The first thing what you should do, it is apt-get update. So just enter, it's done. All right. The next command, apt-get install unitlab. Okay. When it prompted and asking you, of course, say yes. Okay, good. As you see, I updated my version 68 to 96 and it's done. The reboot is not mandatory, but after, okay, let me log in. It is 192.168.22130. Okay, good. Okay, so log out. The default is admin and the user password is UNL, small letters. Okay, we are in, and you can see the users tab appeared. If it's still not appeared, just refresh your web page. Yeah, and users tab appeared. Let's jump in, and you can see that by default we have only one admin user which is admin and have the maximum rights, and you can do everything. If you wish to change the web password, but be careful and do not delete this. You can delete as well, but do not delete this admin. You can create another admin user. Yeah, but if you wish to just change a password, just double click on it and you can see that we can change a password from UNL to another one. Okay, let's create a couple of users. Okay, I'm going to actions, add new user. The username will be UD, name will be UD. So email is asked as well, UD at local. Okay, the password will be 123. So, and now a little bit about roles. We have 3 roles which can be assigned for user. The administrator, of course, can everything. You can do everything. You can manage users. You can start, delete, create labs, whatever. Even some administration, like in a stop all nodes if you're an admin role. Yeah, it's because sometimes users leaving some lab running, but it is not the good. Yeah, it's just a resource eating. Yeah, it's you can log in as an administrator and stop all nodes. I will show you later. Editor, you can do everything: create labs, start labs, delete labs, to change nodes, change iOS, but you cannot manage users. And the last one is user. User is let's say strict, so the role is a little bit cut it with restrictions, and you can start, you can run lab, you can stop lab. You cannot delete it, you cannot modify nodes, you cannot change iOS, you cannot export or import or delete, let's say, some configurations, yeah, so on. You can do a wipe, yeah, but wipe means if this lab is preloaded with a saved configuration, the user actually deleting only using wipe, deleting only his actual work, what he did in the present moment. Okay, so I'm going to create, I will be editor, an expiration date, the date format is used 2015, and look at this, like that. Yeah, it's a year, month, and day. The pod will be assigned. As you see, the pod number 0 is used for its look my mouse here. The pod 0 is automatically assigned for admin user, but the pod is a profile of your user, and I'm going to assign for UD, it will be 1. Please avoid to assign the one pod for 2 users, because it could be a mess then. It's if 2 users will connect in the same pod and will start the same lab, it will be really mess. So the pod numbers should be different for each user. Expiration as well could be used like an user expiration, but I will not an expiry. It's all 3, let's say 10. Yeah, and the expiration as well could be used, but if you're leaving blank, it will means it never expires. Okay, I'm going to add this user. All right, good. The one user is added, and I'm going to add another user. It will be Andrea. The name is Andrea. Email Andrea's admin. Okay, local. You can use your real. Yeah, it's in the password. I would like to choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Role will be administrator. Expiration I'm leaving no, and the pod number I'm assigning, it will be pod number 2. All right. So I'm going to add another user, and you can see that we have the 2 admins and the editor, which is UD. Okay, let me show you how it works now. And let's jump to the labs. So, and I created some small lab, which is lab multi-user, and let's open it. I'm using look at this. I'm using the double click if I wanna jump to the it's browsing folders or some, and the double click is used. Double click, and I'm opening this lab. So I'm logged in as an let me check. Yeah, so I'm logged in as an admin. Okay, I'm jumping to this lab and let's start it. Okay, so the black squares appeared, that's fine, and I'm starting these nodes. Let's do now the login like in a UD and the same time and the same lab. Okay, but I have to use, because I'm using the single computer and the single browser cannot be used, that's why I'm opening now. It's a Google Chrome and 192.168.10.2.130. Okay, good, and let's do, it will be UD and the 1, 2, 3, I guess. Yes, and the 1, 2, 3, and you can see that I use the Google Chrome and I'm logged in to like in a UD. And look at this, I'm opening this lab, and look at this lab, and this lab is in stopped state, and I'm jumping back to admin status, and look at this, these nodes are running and here are not running. Okay, I'm doing now start the nodes like UD. Okay, let's jump back and let's jump back to the Fox Pro and let's do some configuration. For example, okay, this node is booted. Okay, iOS node booted, and the Dynamics. The one node is Dynamics. All right. So let's do some configuration like an admin enable conf t, and I'm saying it will be host name R1, host R1, and we are good. Switch enable conf t host sv1. Okay, and we are okay. Enable conf t host R2, and we are okay, good. And the Dynamics node as well. Conf t host. Okay, let's do 7206VXR, which is that router, and we are. You saw I did some very simple configuration here. Yeah, it's and log it into my UNL machine like an admin. So you can see that the node started and some action is done. So I'm going to close my CRT. Yeah, it's because I will use the same CRT for another user. I'm going to my Google Chrome. Google Chrome is here, but I log it in like an UD. Let's jump into nodes. Look at this. The nodes are absolutely independent and no configuration, and as you see, these nodes are running. Okay, let's do something. No, it's no needed. Okay, no. No, okay, so enable conf t, so I'm saying will be host udsv. Okay, good. It's VR. Okay, I'm doing R1 enable conf t. It will be host udr1. Good. And we are good. Fine. It's going another one. Dynamics enable conf t host ud7206 VXR. Okay, good. And we are. And the last one, it's conf t host r udr2. No star, and we are cool. That's fine. So I'm saving these configurations, and if you're going back, yeah, so you saw I save it under the UD, and I can go back, jump to my Fox Pro, which is an admin status, and I can jump into router 1, and you can see this is a configuration absolutely another. Absolutely. That's mean we are running same lab in the same time, but we are doing absolutely different things. Okay, let's do as an admin here, and I'm going to stop my nodes here. Okay, good. Let's wait and the node stops. Okay, you can see the black square, it's appeared near the nodes. That's mean nodes are stopped, and I'm jumping back to my Google Chrome, and look at this. The triangle showing that UD lab it's still working. Yep. That's amazing thing. Yeah, and you can it's up to your resource if you have some very huge and heavy servers like we do in our UNL. We have dual CPU, which are Xeon 5680 and the 96 gigabit RAM. Yeah, it's you imagine if we are assigned some 64 gigabits for UNL VM machine, how many users? We are 4 actually who are testing very intensively testing the UNL things, and we have own profiles on this server, and we do not disturb each other. We can do any lab, and absolutely amazing thing. Let me show you as an admin user what you can do more. Okay, I'm jumping back to my Fox Pro, and this is an admin screen, and let's go to home and look at this status. I'm going to status, and you can see that we are running 3 IOL nodes and 1 Dynamics. Actually, these 3 IOL nodes running a UD profile. All right. So, and if I wish to stop everybody and everywhere, there is under actions, stop all nodes. I will force to stop all nodes even for UD user because I am an admin. All right. So let me a little bit more explain and say what about users. So if you, for unknown reason or any other idiot, got in and deleted your admin status and saw other things, and you cannot log in back to your UNL machines, look at this. You can get in the UNL machine using WinSCP and using an IP address of your UNL and SSH username and the password. Log it in. And password was UNL. Okay, good. And look here. I'm going to options. So my main root, yeah, I'm going to options and unit lab and the data. And look at this. There is a file database. If I will delete this database file, look at this. I'm deleting it. Okay, good. And I will refresh. I will start another one. It's okay. We'll start another one, and if you are going, it's jumping back to admin state, and in the users you can see that's only administrator. That's how you can get back up, but of course you will lose all your users. Yes, but it is very useful thing because sometimes people doing amazing things and they do not understand what they do. Okay, good. Let's jump to the next step and what we had in our list: initial configuration and saving. IOU, which is very important for routing and switching guys and the dynamics as well. Let's jump to the lab and I will show how to use them. Okay, I'm logged into my UNL like an admin, and we will use an admin account to create an initial configuration for further use and as well maybe for other users as well. Okay, I'm going back to the home and we use the lab multi-users. Okay, open. As you remember, I was logged in like an admin and I did some configurations. And okay, let me start these nodes. I'm going to pause. Let's wait until start. So here we are. I open at the consoles for this running lab, and we can see now that here are present configurations which I saved. All right, and you can see that. So let's do some initial configurations on all nodes, which I would like to see like an initial when you're starting after when you're starting a lab after the wipe, and these configurations will be in. Okay, let's do conf-t interface loopback. Let's say 1111. Oh, IP address 1111. 255, 255, 255, 255. Okay, and remember, it is mandatory to say VR node. Yeah, it's before we will start to export these like an initials, the VR should be done. Okay, conf-t, it's okay, so I will leave it. Yeah, it's for time economy. Conf-t interface loopback. Oh, IP address 222. Okay. Okay, good, and we are okay. Same. Even this configuration, just the host name is here. Yeah, so you would like to see it like an initial. It's do something here. It's interface FO. Oh, I think yes. IP address, for example, 10 1111 255 000. Okay, and we are good. So we saved some configuration, and if you are looking for show run, in a show run you're going to see that something is configured. Good, and we would like to see it as initial configuration for this lab. What I'm doing, look at this, the nodes are running, and I'm going, you can do this one by one for each node, but you can do it for all lab. So I'm going to do one by one. It's starting export CFG. Look at this, CFG exported, export CFG exported, export exported, and the last one dynamics exported. For whole lab you can use actions and export all CFG. Okay, this is the one action it's doing for all. Now look at this. I'm going to stop or wipe. Okay, let's do stop all nodes. And you remember, actually, after the command, it should wipe they usually start node from scratch. That's mean how you are seeing how you load it in a first time. I'm doing the wipe for all nodes, but I can do the wipe all nodes. Okay, I'm wipe it. Actually, if I would not do this export CFG, these nodes should start from scratch and prompt me yes or no or something like that. But if you're going deeper to check how it looks like, look at this. I'm going to edit node in edit mode, and look at here, the startup configuration is saved. That's mean it will run your IOU device from saved configuration, which we exported just a couple of minutes ago. So if you would like to start this node with no saved configuration, please choose unconfigure it. That means this node will start from scratch and will prompt you to start me configure. At this case, we have a saved configuration. All right. And I'm going back to Open Lab in a working stage. Yeah, okay. And I'm starting. So I did the wipe all nodes. Good, good. And I'm starting them. And let's jump into node. Look at this. The configuration is saved, and even we use the wipe. So show run, if you're going in, you're gonna see that we did a loopback interface, which is here, and we did a hostname, which is as well here. So I'm going to configure something, interface EOO IP address 10.1.1.1.2.255 000. All right, and we are good. Good. So we have configured it. Until you're not using the wipe, this configuration will be in force. But once you will do the wipe, it will jump back with the initial configured loopback and the hostname only. All right. I think it is clear. And the same process are for QEMU devices. And QEMU devices are CSR, VIOS, but little bit maybe it takes a little bit more time when these devices loads, but it will load. Okay, let me tell you about little bit switch configurations. The problem could be with the VLANs, show VLANs, because VLAN.file is not saved in this initial configuration, but once you use for example VTP mode transparent transparent code VLAN 10 and show run. Look at this. This VLAN appears here. That's mean this will be replicated to initial configuration as well. If you wish to see your VLANs in initial configuration, use the mode transparent. In mode server or client, it will not save your VLANs. Remember, just remember that. Okay. So let me jump to the VIOS. Okay, come to pause. So guys, I created some small lab which is 3 nodes from QEMU, which is a VIOS layer 3 device. It is router, and layer 2, which is switch, and the CSR. And I configured some initial configurations, and let's check. Show run in R1. Yeah, you can see that I configured the loopback and gigabit Ethernet 00 with an IP address, and please mark that there is no shutdown here, right? And the switch I configured it with VLAN SVI interface. I did the VTP mode transparent, and the 2 VLANs added in database. CSR I configured it show run with an IP address, and which is a no shutdown state. Okay, the all nodes are VR. Save it. Okay, VR once again, and we are once again. Okay, once all done. Okay, good. So I'm going to export CFG. Okay, let's wait. It will take a little bit longer time, like EIOU devices, but it will. Wait till green balloon appears that configuration is exported. Okay, good. Now we can wipe these nodes. Okay, I'm going to wipe it. Wiping. Okay, and let's start the switch again, and iOS as well. I will not start the CSR because it takes about 5 minutes to boot. Okay, I'm going to pause now. Let's wait until they boot. Even they are showing that for the black square in a next release we will change this booting process while it boots with the initial configuration with some other symbol. It's actually, it works. Yeah, it's waiting and now and booting, and let's check how it looks. These red balloons as well will be removed at the next release. This just like informational and does nothing. I would like to show the one last tip. Yeah, it's how it load the configuration. Look at this. The automatic script started and the configuration is going in. The host name. It's loading actually the configuration which you save it in CFG. Look at this. Look at this. The same process happens in a switch. Look at this, and a switch loading as well. Once the configuration is done, it's saving, and we'll jump to the prompt. Okay, good. Actually, your router is loaded, and you see that the symbol is changed to black triangle. It's running, and if you're going to show run, you can see that this device booted with initial configuration. But the one tip, by default on all QEMU devices, all interfaces are in shutdown state. This means you have to go inside from CLI and do no shutdown for the interfaces. Same in a switch. You remember that I did the transparent VTP mode, and let's check show VLAN if they are. Yes, we have the VLANs, and show run, and let's check the SVI interface status, and you can see that it is on a shutdown state as well. Just please remember that you have to go in and do with no shutdown commands. We will work in the next release to solve this problem, but for now it's useful and you can use this, but just remember that you have to do no shutdown. To start this node from scratch, yeah, I'm going to wipe or stop, yeah, it doesn't matter. Node stop it, and look at this, I'm going to edit lab, edit, and I'm changing save it configuration to unconfigure it. And that's mean in next boot, this node will start with a default configuration, which is no configuration. Thank you for viewing. I think it was informative for you, and let's see in the next release.